FuzzJockRadio.
Watching tape from yesterday, I thought there was a lot of good things offensively. That I thought the offensive line played very well. They kept the pocket really clean for Kirk most of the day. I thought we did a good job of cutting off the backside on a lot of the runs. They ran hard and played hard. Kirk made some great throws and got us in some really good plays.
Recording in progress.
Guess there's a recording in progress.
Oh, yeah. They were recording you there, Mr. Mike Zimmerman. Zimmer. Sometimes I like mix. Oh boy, this is gonna be a great episode, guys. Are you ready? This is FuzzJockRadio. I'm your host, one of your hosts of many hosts, Fuzzy, and I'm just getting my stuff all situated here. Introduce yourselves, guys. Go.
I'm C-Dubs. I'm out here in California.
And I'm Johnson, I guess is what they call me, in Minneapolis.
Tana J is with us today. Tana J is with us today. Unfortunately, our host Mez is not with us. I mean, he's fine.
With us.
He's fine. He's with us. He's alive, but he's just not in studio tonight because he's just not in the studio. And so we replace J Mez with Tana J.
Tana J.
Can we say that?
Yeah, that's not trademarked yet.
Okay. Well, it should be by us.
Yeah, let's go for it.
So yeah, this is FuzzJockRadio. That audio clip that you just heard was actually a real interview with our coach Zimmer, and I think that kind of foreshadows how well our team's been doing. Because so he was talking really good about Kirk, and obviously that reporter started recording after he was done talking about good things about Kirk.
Yeah.
Right?
Was that like a regular press conference, or was that like over like a Zoom call or something? Because I've heard that in like Zoom meetings before. That recording started sound.
I'm sure because there are people who are remote. So I know he was, in a room with people, but I'm sure there were remote people, and that was their Zoom saying it out loud.
It's just so funny that happened. I loved his response with it. Oh, I guess we're recording now. So yeah, once again, we are FuzzJockRadio. I'm your host Fuzzy. We have C-Dubs here and Tana J. We are going to go over a bunch of different notes tonight, and then. But before that, how's it going, guys? What's the haps? How you been? Tana J, you haven't been here since the last season when we had 4 guests or hosts. I mean, ghosts. Hess ghosts with the most. How you been? What's going on?
I've been good. I've been keeping busy. I guess big thing that happened during the break was I went to All Out. In Chicago.
Woo. We're gonna talk about
was,
that later in the episode.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I think we should. Unless if I forget, then we'll just move on and then whatever. I'm happy that you are with us.
Yeah, happy to be here.
C-Dubs, I almost called you J-Mez. So I might be calling you J-Mez the rest of the episode, if you don't mind. How are you? Okay. What's going on? What you been up to the last week since I've talked to you?
Oh, I've been busy visiting my family over Zoom chats, or not Zoom, but Facebook videos.
Sure.
And playing with my nephews on Minecraft.
Oh, cool.
Teaching them things, and I also just had another video chat with my dad the other day where we went over baseball cards, and then I've been helping a friend of mine sell stuff on eBay. So I've been I've been seeing a lot of people, whether it's in person or digital.
Sounds
I've
like you've been
seeing
pretty
people.
busy. Yeah.
Yeah,
Is
I'm
this
very
a
busy.
new thing with your family? I have never heard you talk about doing video chats with them, like at length or a lot.
With my sister, I do with the nephews pretty much at least once a month, but we've been ticking it up a lot more since they've gotten into Minecraft. They want to ask me questions and they get
sure.
impressed by the fact that I know things. So I'm
Ask
all
Uncle
for it.
Charles. Ask Uncle Charles. Right?
Yep,
Just
that's
like that.
exactly what it
Can I
is.
call C-Dubs? Do they call you C-Dubs?
No.
Oh, my nieces and nephews started realizing that my nickname is Fuzzy, or my name's Fuzzy in real life instead of family life. They love it. Uncle Fuzzy.
Uncle Fuzzy.
It's a good name, right? I think it's good.
How you been in the last
Non-threatening.
week, Uncle Fuzzy?
I've been good. Just been chilling. Went on a couple dates for the first time in 11 years, so that was it. That's been interesting. It's cool.
Yeah.
The lady seems really nice and whatever and coolness, so
Yeah.
I'm
cool.
excited about that.
Yeah.
A lot of butterflies going on, which I don't like. So I want to. Fuck! Why am I not ready for this? I have a question. I figured it out. I figured out what the question of the week's gonna be.
All right.
Maybe by the time I found the sounder, I'll forget. Because that's kind of what's going on right now. I'm kind of forgetting what that question was, but we'll find the
Is
sounder.
it that one or is it this one?
And it will be this one. Oh, right there. Is it that one?
No.
Oh, nope. Okay, there. That? Okay. And
I
then,
grappled.
what is, okay. Here it is. You know what that, oh, wait, I say this.
We all know what that sound means, or what this jingle is. It's time for the
Fuzz question of the week.
So we're going to just start the episode with the Fuzz question of the week. Usually this is further into the episode, but a lot of people tune out by that time because, you know, this show is just like one of the most boringest things that you can listen to because it's about sports. But you can go into past episodes and check out what the Fuzz question of the week is. We do have it quite often, starting last season. So the Fuzz question of the week is a question that I ask the other hosts, and then they answer it, and then they explain what their answer is, and then we move on. We don't discuss why their answer was wrong. We just move on. Okay. So the Fuzz question of the week this week is butterflies in your stomach when you go on dates and shit. You know that stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Is it just anxiety?
What is
Alex. Alex.
Yeah, it's some form of anxiety. I mean, it's very similar to feelings you get.
And then
when-
do you like
but-
those feelings? That's the main question there. Do you like?
Do
those
I
feelings?
like it?
Yeah.
No. I don't really. I mean, it's the same feelings you get when you're gonna give like a big speech in front of people, or even watching the fucking game on Sunday. It was butterflies. It was anxiety. I got to get up and move around the room. It's not a fun experience necessarily.
C-dubs.
I agree. It is anxiety, and I can barely handle it sometimes. My butterflies, especially when it comes to sports, like when you guys watched me watch the Dodgers win the World Series. I basically collapsed and gasped air out of my lungs
Okay.
because my anxiety was so high. So no, I don't like it either.
I was on my knees at that field goal attempt. I didn't want to be standing during it.
And Fuzzy, that's us.
I think it's just anxiety as well. It sucks. I hate it a lot, and I've been having a lot of anxiety these last couple of days because of these dates. But like, there are butterflies because I do want to, like, impress this lady and be like, yo, I'm cool, but not too cool because I don't want to intimidate people from my coolness. And then it's just like, what do I do? What do I do? All this sucks because I don't know what to do. And then I tweeted about it, and then one of my followers said, "Embrace them. Butterflies are a rare thing, especially when we get older." And I would say, "Fuck no." Anxiety has gotten worse over time. The older I've gotten, my anxiety has gotten worse, especially with COVID and the last presidency.
Absolutely.
I think your follower was maybe thinking of a different feeling that one might describe as butterflies, kind of like the excitement of possibilities and stuff like
Isn't that
but
anxiety too?
That is anxiety also.
Is it a
But,
different
like,
form of anxiety?
there's like a
Oh, wait. We're not discussing these answers.
Oh, wait, we're discussing.
Because
whoops.
this is the Fuzz question of the week, and we don't discuss. That was. I need to
We all
change this
know
up so it
what
says.
that sound means.
And that- and
or what
just-
this
it just goes like,
jingle
"That
is.
was."
It's time for the
It's not time for it
Question of the
anymore.
week.
It just happened. With that.
Are you ready for some football?
And I need to quiet that sound down. I mentioned that last week. I did not write it down in my notebook, so I fucking forgot. But this week I'm gonna remember. So for next week, that sounder that I'm not gonna play again because I don't want to hurt your ears will be quieter. Lions versus
and the outro
and the outro.
Whiteboard it.
for the question of the week.
Yes. Oh yeah, I gotta write that down too. Oh, where is my notebook? I'll find it later. Just remind me.
Yep,
Okay.
Lions versus Packers was on tonight's Monday Night Football.
Mhm.
Before we get into football, I am going to just throw it out there. I did not watch any football this weekend. Okay.
Yay!
Okay,
Anxiety-free weekend.
Good for you.
Anxiety-free weekend. It changed into butterfly weekend, so
Mhm.
that was really nice.
That's right. Never mind.
But like, no, I didn't watch any football. Like for some reason this week, I woke up and I'm just like, no football this week. But the Lions versus Packers played the Monday Night Football game, and I asked my roommate, and he said that the Packers won handedly.
Yes.
So, what do you guys got? Any tidbits on
It
that?
looked like it was close in the first half. The
Mhm.
Lions even took the lead, I think, to close out the
Yeah.
first half.
The Lions were looking really good at the half there, and then basically the tale of two halves. Second half, Rodgers was Rodgers, and their running back went nuts, and
Oh, yeah.
everything changed from there.
So
The Lions had a back-to-back turnover on downs. Packers scored like immediately.
Immediately.
Lions got the ball back and fumbled on the first play on the 25-yard line. Packers got it back, scored another touchdown. So it
Yep.
was a sad display, which anytime the Lions play the Packers, like that's
yeah,
what you're gonna see.
I was just gonna ask. It sounds like the Packer Nation's back then, because they lost last week, or is it that the the Lions are not doing well like they normally do? And yeah, I'm looking it up here. They are 0-2, so
Yeah. I think it's.
the easy
I wouldn't
win.
say the Rodgers is back just yet, even though I love Rodgers. I wouldn't say this means definitively all their problems
Oh,
are fixed.
You love Rodgers, huh?
I think he's a really good quarterback. I don't like the Packers, but I can respect a player.
Oh, absolutely. I agree.
Lions were pretty bad last year too, weren't they?
I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
They did get a new quarterback, Jared Goff, and he actually looked really good in this game, but it was still the classic Lions. So
So it's looking like we have a lot of injuries coming up in the second week. The Bears Andy Dalton, the quarter. I can't talk. I can never talk during these shows anymore. I don't know if it's because it's season 5 and I'm a lot more nervous or what the deal is, but
Those damn butterflies.
yeah, something like that. The quarterback of the Bears is broken. He has a broken ankle.
Yep.
The Dolphins quarterback,
Tua Tagovailoa.
thank you, has broken ribs.
Yep.
The Rams, Darrell Henderson, running back, has broken ribs. TJ Watt, That's a big name. Linebacker has a pulled groin or a broken groin. The Browns' Baker Mayfield, quarterback, has a broken shoulder. Jarvis Landry, wide receiver, broken knee. Texans quarterback has a broken hamstring, and Danny Amendola, their wide receiver, has a hamstring as well. And the list goes.
Hammies.
And the note says the list goes on and on and on and on and on and on and on.
Yeah.
Carson Wentz is also hurt. I mean, there's stories everywhere about people getting injured.
Why?
Yeah.
What's going on?
Yeah. Who knows? I mean, even in the esports world, outside of regular sports, we're seeing injuries as well. I found this news article that over on last weekend, during a Rivals of Aether tournament, the winner of the contest, in his victory celebration dance, dislocated his shoulder and fell to the ground writhing in pain after winning. And when you celebrate like that, they call it a pop off. Yeah. And I think at the same time as his shoulder might have popped off.
His shoulder totally popped off. Absolutely. Wow. Oh, poor guy. We have a mutual friend that his shoulder pops out of socket when he's rapping every once in a while.
Oh man.
Talking about Cody Bellinger?
No.
Just kidding.
Our friend Relium Prime, his shoulder pops out of socket a lot.
Wow. That's crazy.
And it sounds like it hurts. Just like how much last night's game that I did not watch, which I'm really happy, hurts. With the Arizona Cardinals versus the Minnesota Vikings. It looks like it came down to
field goal.
A field goal. I was going to say it's down to 1 point. It sounds like it came down to a field goal. Well, actually, Paul Allen had like the best call on this, because
it's him.
So the Vikings were marching down the field, right? I hear they're down a couple points. Well, is it 1
point?
1 point.
Single point.
A field goal will win it, right?
Mm-hmm. And they
put down Joseph. Come on! It is gone! No.
They won.
Vikings won. All right. Go Vikings.
He missed it right. Oh, my kidding me? Oh, my.
What?
He missed it right.
Oh.
What?
Oh, no, Paul.
Paul. That play after play toward the end fought its way back. Oh, missed it by like a foot. And just, oh, my God.
I wish they wouldn't have cut the last part off there. They just said how, and I wanted them to say, how could you miss that call?
How?
Well, I think it's also how could that kicker miss that kick? It was
absolutely.
like a 35 or a yarder. He had hit some 52 yarders in the past two games.
Wow.
Chip shot right down the middle.
Wow.
And it's the story of the Vikings. Like it's just every time.
And like what happened in the interview with the coach, with Zimmer not getting recorded right away. It's like the PA having that botched call like that just is like, look at what our season's going to be like. It's going to be like this all season long, guys. If
I were in the car listening to that call, I probably would have crashed my car during that whole exchange. I would have been so pissed off.
Yeah.
Oh,
that guy,
gosh.
He gets a bit excited sometimes.
He does.
I do enjoy on his show when they bring on Mike Florio, though, and then he gets put in his place.
Yes, he does.
Well, who's
absolutely.
that?
So Mike Florio does. He runs ProFootballTalk.com, which is now owned by NBC.
Okay.
And but anyway, he started Pro Football Talk on his own as his own news network for football info, and he was releasing info that other news organizations wouldn't, like dirt. And so he got a real name for himself by exposing the Ray Rice video and stuff like that.
Okay.
And then was
Wow.
bought out by, I mean, he wasn't the only one, but he was
Right.
part of it. And then he got bought by NBC, and then they turned all their sports networks to pro hockey talk, pro this talk, pro that talk. And so he's actually sitting pretty because of something he started on his own, which has blown up into an empire now. And so now he just does Sunday Night Football, little bits of news there, and he's on the Paul Allen show and has his own radio show in the morning. That's his life now.
Good for him.
But Paul Allen's known him for a while, so that's why he does the show with him still, even
Ah.
though he's huge and Paul's small.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Paul Allen. He's something else.
Yeah.
Baseball is fun again in Minnesota.
Yeah, it is. Why is that, Fuzzy?
Because oh, wait a minute. I was gonna say because math is fun, right? And
Fundamental.
with math, you can figure things out, but it's not fun that we figured out with math that the Twins are finally mathematically eliminated from postseason play. So there is no chance whatsoever for the Twins to go to the postseason, which is fine. I'm gonna be J-Mez here for a moment and be like, they have some things that they need to work on. Obviously, they are the best team in baseball, and so they're getting out of this season earlier than everybody else so they can work on next season to become even better.
Mm-hmm. They want to beat that record from 2019 of most home runs in a season, and they want to do it with the new baseball.
Yes, the new baseball team, because they have a lot of new players
No more
on the team.
stuff, all that.
Yeah, and honestly, all jokes aside, it is going to be good for the newer players that they brought up through the Saints, like Gordon. Like,
Oh yeah,
he's
really good.
He's awesome. He's been stealing bases and hitting some home runs, and
he reminds me of a young Byron Buxton and how he steals bases, because that's what Byron did a ton of when he was young.
I can see that,
I remember they had him clocked in at how quickly he could run around the bases, and they were like, most people are just past second base by the time he's touching home plate. I can't remember what they were like, how many seconds per base it was, but yeah, he was like over a base ahead of people.
They call him Flash Gordon for a reason.
So I think Gordon will have the same stat come out about him.
Yep. And what's really awesome to see too is that with this younger team, they actually have been winning. They have been winning games against better teams. I know that probably some of the better teams aren't playing some of their best players against the Twins right now, but at the same time, we're winning. We are also still getting clobbered, but we are winning. So it just gives us hope for next season. And yeah, time to take a break and time to regroup, and hopefully Rocco doesn't get fired in the off season, and we move on, and the Polancos open up their wallet a little bit more.
Pull ads.
I said Polanco, didn't I? No, Polanco's fine.
We like Polanco. He can keep his wallet closed.
Polanco, you keep your wallet closed and keep on hitting those home runs. Another thing that makes baseball fun again in LA is Mookie Betts is a class act. And how so, C-Dubs?
So recently they played against the Reds, and during the game, a rookie came up to bat, and he got his first home run against of his career, and it happened to be against the Dodgers. Well, Mookie knew this, and so he yelled out to the fan, "Hey, listen, I need that ball back. It's his first home run. He needs that." And so he made a deal. "Hey, I'll give you my baseball bat if you give me the ball." And so in the outfield, Mookie's playing for the other team, and he's getting the ball back from the fan, trades him the bat. Well, this story just gets even better. The fan then proceeds to give that bat to a fan wearing a Mookie Betts jersey, a little kid, paying it forward just the same way Mookie paid it forward with doing that great thing. So that's just sportsmanship all over the place.
That's great.
Awesome. I love it.
That's great.
I love it when stories like that come out.
Yeah. He's a good guy. That's just beautiful. It's really nice of him to get that ball back for the player and to reward the fan, and then for that fan to reward another fan. I mean, just Mookie rubbing off on people, you know.
That's what baseball is supposed to be about. That's what sports is supposed to be about, is togetherness, sharingness. We're all here to enjoy a game. We're not here to fight each other. We're not here, you know. Sure, our teams are going against each other, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we're all enjoying the same game.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. It just seems like sometimes the fans' emotions are tied up too closely to what's happening with the results instead of what's actually happening on the field.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. No, totally.
Sure.
And we're seeing that a lot more lately with the sports being back after the lockdowns and people not. I think a lot of it has to do with people not being used to being around people again, and then getting a lot of booze in their systems, and then freaking out.
Yeah, there's a high tick of that going on.
Yeah,
but I think part of it too is the people who are most actively wanting to go out and do that stuff are probably people who have been just wanting to go out to feed their addictions.
You know what? You know what's nice though?
You know, but that's they want to go out and drink booze, and so they drink too much booze because it's been so long since the last time they got to do it. You know,
and luckily those people get kicked out, so they can't come back to do it again.
Yes,
right. So it's just really nice to hear that fans are being nice to other fans, instead of just hearing
athletes are being nice to the opposite team's fans too.
Everything.
Absolutely.
Everyone's being nice to everyone.
Yep.
You're gonna cut to that kid like with that baseball bat, and he's like at home destroying it, like that kid in Rocco.
Like in Rocco.
Postseason is almost here, guys. The AL card game will be.
Well, if it ended today.
The AL wildcard game would be the Red Sox versus the Blue Jays. The National League wildcard game would be the Dodgers versus the Cardinals. ALDS, Astros versus White Sox. Rays versus the wildcard game winner. Brewers versus Braves. Giants versus the NL wildcard winner. And then Super Bowl after that. And then, what do you call it? World Series after that, and then so the Dodgers win, right? We already have it all lined up.
Yes, that's how it's going to go down.
Okay.
Except maybe we'll switch the Dodgers and the Giants so that they'll win their 9th division title in a row.
Okay.
You know, but other than that, yeah, it's pretty much already figured out.
FuzzJockRadio.
Basketball, gimme the ball because I'm gonna dunk it! Basketball, gimme the ball because I'm gonna dunk it! Basketball, gimme the ball because I'm gonna dunk it!
And the NBA
FuzzJockRadio.
The NBA season of 2021 starts October 3rd with the Nets versus the Lakers and the Minnesota Timberwolves versus the Pelicans on October 4th.
Preseason, but still, it's the beginning.
Yeah,
it's here.
It's the beginning. And with that, the WNBA, guess what? The Lynx sweep final 4 games of the season. They won all 4 of their last games of the season.
That's fantastic, especially from where they started from this season. It's so good for them.
Fuck yeah! The beginning of the season was just horrific. It was like, we were just like sitting there talking about how like, oh man, just like the Vikings, this fucking strap on, whatever you want to do, and be ready for disappointment, right? What'd you say?
I said peg the patriarch.
We are not a sex podcast. We are a
WNBA playoffs podcast.
WNBA playoffs podcast, and I'm excited. I have butterflies in my stomach for the Lynx to win the national championships again.
Yes.
I mean, if they're going out of the season like this, they had their last games were 83 to 77, 92 to 73, 90 to 80, 89 to 72, and 102 to 80. Well, no, that was
That was their final loss.
That was our last loss. But yeah, I mean, just handedly giving it to the other team. And these are all the teams that we're going to be playing, right?
We don't know who we'll be playing yet because we're in the second round.
Okay.
But the first round will have Thursday, September 23rd is going to have Dallas versus at Chicago. Dallas, the 7th seed. Chicago's the 6th seed. 8 p.m. on ESPN2. So probably that would be 7 in Central Standard Time. And then also Thursday, there will be New York, 8th seed, at Phoenix, 5th seed. And that's at 9 p.m. Central on ESPN2 as well. And then the second round, we'll see Minnesota playing the winner of one of those games.
Okay, so our next game, everyone listen, is on September 26th, Sunday, September 26th. So make sure to mark your calendars and fucking cheer on our Minnesota Lynx. The WNBA is a wonderful thing to watch. It's a great sport. Basketball. I love basketball.
Lynx Pride.
Where am I here? Oh, not that. I already did that, Fuzz. Okay, fine.
We all know what that sound means, or what this jingle is. It's time for the
Fuzz question of the week.
So this week we have a special edition Fuzz question of the week. We have 2 questions this episode, which is awesome, right? My question for you guys is, what's your favorite sport? Go, Alex.
Well, I mean, if we're talking like the one I watch probably the most, it'll probably be football. I don't really get into baseball, basketball, hockey as much, but football I think I like mainly because it's not as much of a time commitment as say baseball, where you have like a bajillion million games and stats and players to keep track of. Football, I can just watch it once a week.
Okay. C-dubs.
Pro wrestling.
Okay.
And that's because I think, one, we need to normalize saying pro wrestling is a sport. And I'm willing to do that because it's my favorite sport. And it gives me everything I want. There's drama, athleticism, storytelling, psychology. Everything about it is wonderful for me. I love male burlesque. I love that aspect of it. I think it's all wonderful.
Nice.
Yep.
Okay. There we go.
How about you, Fuzz?
Me? When we were in the segment of basketball, I was the reason why I thought about it, the bringing it up a second question of the week, was that I love basketball. I wonder what everybody else's favorite sport is, because I just love basketball so much. And then you started talking, and I'm like, I do really like baseball. Holy fuck. Maybe I like baseball more than I like basketball. Let's see what I come up with by the time they ask me. And then C-Dubs brought up, pro wrestling is really cool, and I love pro wrestling.
What is slashing?
Slashing is like that, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So preseason begins this weekend, Saturday, September 25th. And then the Minnesota is at St. Louis at 8 p.m. for the first preseason game, and Montreal is at Toronto at 2 p.m. And
starting off the season, we get the first televised primetime game.
That's gonna be fun, right?
Yep.
We like so that's the game. That's right before. That's Saturday, right? That's this Saturday. Is that this Saturday? What's the date?
Yeah.
It's the 20th.
No, that's next Saturday.
Holy shit, rent's due soon too.
Oh, it is this Saturday.
Oh boy. This Saturday. So we have a lot of sports coming up this week. We have this Saturday. We have the preseason of hockey, and then Sunday we have the Lynx, and then
this week is Grand Slam for AEW.
Grand Slam for AEW. Oh, why don't we start talking about AEW then?
Yeah. Go into that.
4 hours of wrestling this week. So 2 hours on Wednesday, and then 2 hours on Friday during Rampage, right?
Yes.
Is this all live, or was Rampage pre-recorded this week?
I believe it's all live.
Are they doing 2 shows at Arthur Ashe?
I thought they were doing 2 shows at Arthur Ashe. I thought that was the point. Maybe it is just one. It could just be one, and they tape it like a pay-per-view. I was under the impression it's 2 events.
So
I'm not sure.
That's what they did in Chicago.
AEW Dynamite Grand Slam we'll have Kenny Omega versus Bryan Danielson, Britt Baker versus Ruby Soho for the
can't wait for that.
AEW's Women's World Championship. We'll have Cody Rhodes versus Malachi Black, Angels versus Devils. CM Punk will have a live interview. MJF versus Brian Pillman Jr., Eddie Kingston, and John Moxley versus Suzuki Gun, Lance Archer, and
Minoru Suzuki.
Thank you. And then FTR versus Darby Allin and Sting. And that will be on Wednesday that'll be a 2-hour event, and then on Friday, AEW's Rampage Grand Slam card will be Adam Cole and the Young Bucks versus Christian Cage and Jurassic Express. Yes.
I did just look it up. The live event itself is happening on Wednesday, and then the Rampage is pre-recorded from the show on Wednesday.
So it's being done like a pay-per-view.
Yeah, so it's going to be a long show for those people.
Yeah.
Then we'll have CM Punk versus Powerhouse Hobbs, and then Men of the Year, Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky versus Jericho and Jake Hager. Yeah, so for Friday night's 2-hour event, they only have 3.
I have a feeling things will bleed in from Dynamite. They'll have this will lead to that, which we'll get on Rampage.
Yeah, I can see that.
I have a feeling we'll get a couple of those.
So as in that there's still more matches to be announced, but the Dynamite has to go first before they announce the next matches on Rampage.
Storytelling.
Okay.
Yep.
Interesting.
Yeah. Also in AEW news, there was an announcement made today that AEW and the Owen Hart Foundation had entered an agreement with a relationship to honor the world-renowned wrestler Owen Hart's legacy. As we all know, Owen Hart passed away back in, I think, the year 2000, tragically. And it sounds like AEW has been working with the Owen Hart Foundation, a nonprofit charity which provides a vast range of assistance and opportunities to individuals in need across the world. And they're collaborating to honor the legacy of Owen Hart, who was a beloved figure. The collaboration includes launching an annual Owen Hart Cup tournament within AEW, which will see the winner receive a cup known as the Owen, as well as production and distribution of unique and original Owen Hart merchandise, including specified retailed goods. And I think I heard maybe like an Owen Hart figure, like a collectible action figure, as well as the upcoming AEW video game. So that's just really cool that they did that and were able to put that together, because I mean, it can't be stated enough how tragic his passing was, and
what happened.
It's great to get out there
to
and
the
honor
people that don't know what happened to Owen Hart.
Back in a pay-per-view, I think it was called Over the Edge, he was playing a character called the Blue Bomber or something. Blue something.
I can't remember what
it was like a superhero character, and they had him up in the rafters, and a la Sting was going to glide down from the rafters, and there was a problem with the rig, malfunction, and he ended up falling and striking a turnbuckle when he fell, And so very, very like I said, tragic
What a
happened.
horrible thing to happen.
And WWE moved on with that pay-per-view. They continued it after that and had JR like on the fly bring the audience up to date with what was happening and continue the pay-per-view. And so he watched it happen. JR saw it happen and was sick to his stomach over it, and they still put him on the air
How can somebody do that? Like,
I think
they watch somebody die in front of them.
Yeah.
Right?
It just kills the mood too at the pay-per-view.
How can you go on with
keep watching wrestling?
If somebody dies at your event, how can you go on with the show, especially if it's one of your employees?
Yeah, I believe I was at my friend Renee's house, and we were watching that pay-per-view.
Horrible.
Too.
Yeah.
So, like, that was a pay-per-view, and people were watching that live on TV as well, and they just...
There was a delay.
Yeah, they cut out
didn't actually show it.
Yeah.
What did they explain to the audience on TV?
Just that an accident had happened. I can't exactly remember how it was presented and how they did that. I just know there was a very long stoppage of the show, and then eventually they were like, okay, well, let's pick it back up again, and
wow,
go ahead. So it was very bizarre.
What a horrible thing.
And with the way that the Hart's family has been treated by WWE, it's no surprise that this has happened.
Yeah, they have not reconciled on that, I don't believe.
No. And then the Harts were also, it's the same family, where the screw job and the connections they've done the family wrong many times, and so it's no surprise.
That Canadian screw job or something.
Montreal
screw job.
Bret Hart.
That was Bret Hart. And they are related.
Yes, brothers.
What? And what? Explain again what the Canadian screw or the Montreal screw job is.
Montreal screw job was Bret Hart was about to leave the WWE, and he wanted to leave as the champion. He was going to relinquish it the next night, and that because he wanted to be the true good hero, super good guy that he was, the character he was playing. This is what the payoff should be for it. This is what he thought they should do, and they told him, "Fine, you can do this." Well, HBK and the referee, Earl Hebner, and Vince McMahon were all in on. I mean, not in on. They all knew how this was going to end, but Vince is the one who made the call with the writers. I can't forget who they were, deciding that HBK was going to win the match, and it was going to be on submission that he doesn't submit to, and that he would lose, and he would drop the belt, even though they told him he would retain the belt. Wow. And they do it live, and it's an honest reaction of him spitting in Vince McMahon's face afterwards. The whole place falls apart because they can see that he gets screwed out of it on air. And then this actually led to the secret of wrestling getting out, that wrestling is staged, is that action.
Really?
Yes. Well, I mean, that's the moment it was clear.
Huh.
Yeah, there's actually a really fascinating documentary that was made back in '98, like really shortly after. Like Bret had a documentary crew following him around during this, and so you actually get to see it backstage, what happens before and what happens after.
Wow.
And it's a really interesting look into Bret's life and that whole experience of him. Like he's like backstage with Vince, like they're arguing over because even up to the moment, like Vince had to relinquish and be like, yeah, okay, you can keep the belt. But then he met with other people and did this other thing because he was being a baby about the belt, and Bret leaving. And even though Bret was leaving because they weren't offering him anything, and he's just like, okay, I guess I have to go to WCW now because you guys aren't giving me anything.
Because Vince didn't know how to go past somebody leaving with the belt. Type of thing.
Well, one thing that extra context to this, there was a female wrestler named Medusa who left the WWF at the time, with the women's championship and literally appeared on Monday Nitro and threw the belt in the garbage on air. So Vince was really pissed about that.
Nitro was a different company than WWE.
WCW, yeah, WCW. So she appeared on that with that, and he did not want that to happen again.
I can see
he
that.
was so scared
But
of that happening again. But it was Bret Hart. Like it wasn't
not going to
like
do that.
like at that time, women wrestlers weren't like respected like at all.
Mhm.
And so like he didn't give that much of a damn that she left, but the fact that she threw a WWF championship in the garbage on air like made him explode. So
Yeah, I can totally see that. Why that pissed anybody off, right?
Yeah. And so the
but-
family has just been wronged by Vince in many ways.
But to kick the dog down the road, not to call Brett a dog by any means, but to kick somebody else because of somebody else's actions is wrong. It's just like the worst thing you can do. And and
because Brett was the ultimate good guy
the
character.
Hearts-
That was
so-
his whole bit, and
so
that
the
he
Hearts
shouldn't
were-
be losing to HBK, the ultimate bad guy.
so the Hearts were really good people.
Yes, the Hart Foundation was like valiant type characters.
That's good. That's good because it seems like that's what.
Well, I mean,
AEW
for the think about what else was going on in that era. You know,
he was a heel sometimes though.
yeah, but they never were like they were never doing
I'm
the Rock.
I'm talking
you
like
know.
good, like in real life versus
Good workers. Yeah.
good people behind the scenes. And that's what's really tough with wrestling sometimes is knowing what is kayfabe and what's not kayfabe. Like what is actually real and what's real but actually kayfabe at the same time, because good wrestlers will blur those lines and do really easily. And then so like I don't know.
Yeah,
it's
Brian Pillman, Eddie Kingston, those are great examples of people who do that.
Yeah, they're very good at it, and it's not no pun intended, but it's tough for me to grapple with that sometimes because it's like, well, is this part of their storyline or what?
The one good thing I will say about all this heart love coming with AEW is that it brings it full circle from Brett introducing the championship to now there being a cup to honor his brother.
Yeah,
I think that's really cool.
I like that a lot.
Yeah. I assume Brett will come back as well for
I would guess so
for that too.
But that's it's really heartwarming when they do things like this, and especially considering that they're going to give this to some wrestler who's well deserving of a championship, but they can't give a belt to right now.
Yeah,
that's the point of this, and they're going to give it to, I would guess, someone like Jungle Boy,
kind of like the diamond ring too.
Yeah, it's just like the diamond ring. It's a belt without being a belt. Or I could see Sammy Guevara winning it.
What are they going to have again?
It's going to be a tournament, and then they'll win a cup, like a championship cup.
A cup. That's
Not an athletic cup.
Not not a jock.
What if it is?
I would love to see a promotion do that.
I don't have the sound effects for Fuzzy Memory Trivia, so we're just gonna go into it. I was going to make a new sound, but I forgot because of that whole missing notebook thing. I don't even know if I actually wrote it down. But remind me to write it down when I do find the notebook. I forgot.
Speaking of reminding people, you went to All Out.
Oh yeah, I went to All Out.
Oh yeah, you went to All Out. That's why we need to have stuff like that in the notes. Do we even I didn't even put that in the notes.
I don't think we did. No,
we forgot to put it in the notes.
Go ahead. What's up with? How was it?
I mean, it was very, very fun. I mean, you guys saw it, and it's watching it at home versus like the energy of being at that in person and hearing everyone else reacting in time with you is pretty crazy. How it was. Oh, go ahead.
how was that being around all those people for the first time?
That's what I was
Yeah,
just about
I
to,
bet.
to say. Was it was a little dicey. You know, I had my mask on pretty much the whole time in there, other than drinking or eating. But they didn't have it as mandated as I would have liked, and there were a lot of people just running around without them on. I'm happy to hear that my friends didn't get anything. I didn't get anything, but I mean there are some breakthrough cases that have been popping up, but hopefully they are few and far between.
Yeah, that so that is something, when you guys go do when you do go to events to to enjoy, which you should, like, people need to go out and get things, just be careful, make sure to mask up, get your booster as soon as you can, because with that many people, statistically, in a stadium, there has to be people there, no matter what type of mandates they have going on, too. No matter what type of mandates they have going on, with that many people, there's somebody there with COVID. And you don't know, and they might not even know that they have it.
I mean, probably not. No one.
I mean, why would you go out sick,
Yeah.
And then, but, so, we're not doctors, and we're not going to, tell you what you need to do other than what the CDC and what our health experts and our doctors tell us to do. But it makes sense to just mask up.
Yeah.
And be careful.
Yep.
If you're going to go out and enjoy yourself, which you should do, because, fuck not having fun, right?
Yeah.
But just
have a life.
Be careful, be safe, protect yourself so you can protect others. And then, did you have anything else with All Out? It was good. You had fun.
And yeah, it was just a really fun show. Fun surprises at the end, but I mean, I'm sure you guys felt that as well.
Oh, it was the best.
Oh, go ahead, C-dubs.
I was gonna ask you.
Interrupt your segment here.
No, interrupt me nicely. Putting my hand up. I was gonna ask, what was it like seeing the cage match with the Lucha Bros and the Young Bucks, and then seeing his daughter run out?
I mean, that was crazy too. Like I think we were seated right behind or near the family area.
Wow.
Because we think we saw Jungle Boy's sister, and they were pointing. Penta was pointing up at his kids to come down, and I was like, for a second, I'm like, is he pointing at me? Does he want me to come down there?
Come down.
But I was like, no, it's kids.
That made me cry.
That was
yeah.
I just watched that again recently, and I cried.
I do want to rewatch it. I'd like to see the pay-per-view version of it.
I want to
I
want to rewatch it as well, and I would like to say that I think I know that was the best pay-per-view that AEW has so far put out. I hear people saying that it's one of the best pay-per-views that in the entire wrestling universe, but I have no idea about that. But I know I've seen every pay-per-view that AEW's done, and it's definitely the best one that they put out. It's going to be hard to top this one.
It's front to back, just solid booking.
I cried a couple times during it, which like the stories that they were portraying made me feel stuff. It was great. And
did you cry when Paul White wrestled?
No. It was more during the women's matches too. It was just like, look at, I'm so happy. Like, that's one thing, and they can do a lot better, but they have been doing a good job with the women wrestlers. Like I was telling the person that I went on the date with when I was explaining my AEW addiction, that they do they allow the women wrestlers to be wrestlers instead of being just props. And that's way more than what the other company, used to do. There's definitely a big movement in women's wrestling lately, and it's just wonderful. I love it.
Yeah, I mean it is definitely different from it was even, I don't know, like probably even 10 years ago.
Yeah,
Like it's
100%.
been a huge shift.
Yep.
It's Fuzzy Memory Trivia.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay, isolate that for next week and just play that every
There you
time.
go.
Okay. We'll try that, huh? So it is Fuzzy Memory Trivia time. This is the time that I ask the hosts memory trivias. And then they answer those trivia memories with questions and answers. No, answers. And I keep track of the scores because if they get the answer right, they get a point. And if they get the question wrong, they get no points. And with that, Alex being Tenna J gets to go first. Do we have the point scores from last week?
Yeah, 0-0.
That's what I thought.
Shocker.
So don't feel bad. Earlier in the episode, we talked about cups. So this question refers to cups. The FIFA World Cup 2018 marks which number World Cup appearance for Lionel Messi?
3.
Incorrect. C-dubs for the
6.
incorrect. 4.
Ah, it was so close. What, Lionel Messi? What is that?
It's a dude.
He's a player.
Oh, I thought it was like a team. I'm like, is that a country? I don't know.
No.
C-dubs.
Yes.
What is the nickname of the French national soccer team?
I bet my wife knows.
You can't. There's no calling your wife. Don't even try.
Biscuit gravy.
Incorrect. Tenna J.
The Frogs.
Incorrect. Le Bleu.
Oh yeah.
LaFleur?
Le Bleu.
Okay.
Le Bleu.
The bleu. Le bleu. Sacre bleu.
Alex, who was the first golfer to successfully defend his Masters title?
Arnold Palmer.
Incorrect. C-dubs.
It's gonna be Tiger Woods.
Incorrect. Jack Nicklaus.
Oh, damn it! That was the other one I was gonna say. I was like either Arnold Palmer or Jack Nicklaus. Those are the two names I was gonna say.
Okay.
Or maybe John Daly.
Follow-up question. What is golfer Jack Nicklaus's nickname? And this is a buzzin'. What is golfer Jack Nicklaus's nickname?
Buzz.
Alex.
Chinatown.
Incorrect. C-dubs for the steal.
Sexy.
The Golden Bear.
Oh, see, that's close enough.
He's big sexy.
Big sexy.
Just like Kevin Nash.
Whose turn is it? Is it?
It's my turn.
C-dubs. Who won the HORSE competition at the 2010 NBA All-Star Game?
2010 All-Star Game, Kobe.
Incorrect.
I don't know.
Jenna J.
LeBron.
Incorrect. Kevin Durant.
Oh.
And then final question. How long does Jenna J, how long does the shot clock run in Major League Lacrosse rules?
5 seconds.
Incorrect. C-dubs?
34 seconds.
Incorrect. 60 seconds. And that is the end of Fuzzy Memory Trivia. The score is still 0-0. Don't worry. You'll probably get a question right next week.
Can we hear that intro again?
No, it's one of a kind. Okay. That brings us to the end of episode 2, season 5. I had to look at the my whiteboard that says what episode it is.
It's in the can.
I almost forgot.
It's on the internet.
We appreciate you listeners.
Before we leave, can I have something I want to say?
I guess.
I want to say shout out to Joseph. He's one of my coworkers, and he's leaving the Dodgers because he has to go work for his family business, and we're gonna miss him. And I know you listen to the show, so thank you, and I appreciate you. I'm gonna miss you,
Joseph. Thanks for listening.
You know Joseph.
Go ahead,
Thanks,
Jay.
Joseph.
He wants to say something.
No, I was just doing my.
Oh, I thought you wanted to say something, Joseph.
No, I was giving props to Joseph.
Joseph, you're not gone, even though you're not part of you're not working for the same company as C-Dubs is anymore. You're not gone, so you can contact us, contact C-Dubs, be like, yo, that fuzzy guy needs to quit talking a little so much or something like that. He needs to wrap up the episodes and stuff. Give C-Dubs suggestions on how to make me a better host. I would like that. And then Joseph, doing a good job. With that, that wasn't insensitive, was it?
No.
Okay. Because
I was insensitive to Josephs out there, all Josephs.
Okay, so with that, C-Dubs, what you got going on this next week? How you doing? Well, what's it feel like? How's your astrologies lining, if you believe in that stuff? I don't think you do, but
my Mercury moon is setting on the rising Venus, so that's all good in my book.
I hope your crystals are charged.
My crystals are they're not. I should plug them in. That's a good idea. Thank you for reminding me to charge my crystals. But no, I'm excited. Actually, we're starting to get postseason stuff in at my job, so that means we're getting closer to my favorite time of the year, which is October. Just working my butt off and distributing that shit. I can't wait to do it.
Jay, what you got going on this next week? How are you feeling?
Good. I'm traveling for work next week to Portland, Maine, for a work retreat. So I think actually Mercury's in retrograde next week, so we'll see what happens with that as well. And seriously, like my coworkers track that, and they were like, "Oh, it's gonna be in retrograde while we're on our retreat. What's gonna happen?"
Fuzzy.
So,
before I don't know, I want to apologize a little bit about comments that I made last week about like COVID and kids and stuff like that. I may have came off as a little harsh or insensitive, and I realize that now. And I didn't mean to come off insensitive. However, I do apologize. Because I know how stressful I don't know because I don't have kids, but I absolutely understand how stressful it's got to be thinking about how you have to put your kids into school or just making that decision when they're not vaccinated. I can't even fathom how my brain would be able to I don't know how to wrap my mind around that. So I 100% apologize, and I hope everybody stays safe. And that's about all I really want to end this episode with, is that I know how hard it is during this COVID time when you're trying to do the best you can to make sure that you are safe so you can keep your neighbors and loved ones safe. There's been a lot of hard decisions to make, and just know that you're not the only one out there, because sometimes it does feel like we are the crazy ones, but we're not. You're doing a good job, and I love you. And tune in next week.
Snap, put down. Joseph, come on! It is gone! No, he missed it. Good. Are you kidding me? He missed it right. He missed it right. Oh, my heavens. This, he missed it right. What a gut punch to a team, Paul, that play after play toward the end fought its way back.
Missed it by like a foot.
And just, oh my God.